The streets of Buenos Aires had always whispered Alejandro's name, but never with the reverence it commanded now. The bustling markets, the vibrant energy and the constant hum of life were the backdrop to his extraordinary journey. His journey began in the shadow of La Boca's colourful houses, a world of pickpockets and petty scams. As a young boy, Alejandro learned the art of survival, blending into the crowd and making a living off the unsuspecting tourists who wandered into his neighbourhood.
I was quick, agile, learning to dance around trouble before it found me. The rooftops became my playground, the narrow alleys my escape routes. Every leap, every sprint was a step towards mastering my environment. But I craved more than scraps. I yearned for the intricate, the impossible. The thrill of outsmarting complex security systems, the challenge of planning a heist that seemed beyond reach. These were the things that fueled my ambition.
His first heist, a daring raid on a crooked loan shark, put him on the map. It was a meticulously planned operation, executed with precision and flair. The night was his ally, the shadows his cover. It wasn't the money, it was the flair, the theatrical flourish of leaving behind a single red rose. This signature move became his calling card, a symbol of his audacity and style. The press, starved for a folk hero, dubbed him El Zorro. The name spread like wildfire, capturing the imagination of the public and striking fear into the hearts of the corrupt. Each subsequent heist was bolder, more audacious. Alejandro's operations became legendary, each one a masterclass in planning and execution. The stakes were higher, the risks greater, but so were the rewards.
I targeted the corrupt, the greedy, leaving behind just enough to taunt, never enough to catch me. My heists were a form of justice, a way to balance the scales in a world where the rich and powerful often went unchecked.
Alejandro was a meticulous planner, a chess master in a world of checkers players. Every move was calculated, every contingency considered. He approached each heist like a grandmaster, always thinking several steps ahead. He studied not just blueprints and security systems, but human nature itself. Understanding the motivations and behaviors of his targets was key to his success. He knew when to strike, and more importantly, when to wait. He assembled a crew, each member a virtuoso in their field, bound by loyalty and the intoxicating allure of the impossible. They were more than just accomplices, they were a family, united by a common goal and a shared sense of purpose. His reputation, a blend of fear and grudging respect, preceded him. In the underworld, Alejandro was a legend, a figure both revered and feared. His name was spoken in hushed tones, his exploits recounted with awe.
To the authorities, I was a phantom, a whisper in the night. They chased shadows, always a step behind, never quite able to catch me. My elusiveness was my greatest weapon. To the downtrodden, I was a symbol of defiance, a flickering flame against the darkness. My actions gave them hope, a reminder that even the most powerful could be brought to their knees.
His legend, however, was far from its final chapter. Alejandro's story was still being written, each heist a new page in a book that captivated the world. For Alejandro had his eyes set on the ultimate prize, a heist so audacious it would cement his name in the annals of crime, the Central Bank of Argentina. This was not just another job, it was the culmination of a lifetime of planning and ambition. The stakes had never been higher, and the world watched with bated breath, waiting to see if El Zorro could pull off the impossible once more. Looming over Plaza de Mayo, the Central Bank of Argentina was more than just a building. It was a fortress. Its presence was a testament to the nation's financial might and a symbol of unyielding security. Its very architecture spoke of impenetrable security, a concrete and steel embodiment of power. The walls, thick and unyielding, seemed to whisper tales of thwarted attempts and unbroken defenses. The heart of this beast was the vault, buried deep beneath the city, a labyrinth of reinforced steel and cutting-edge technology. It was a place where the nation's wealth was guarded with an almost obsessive zeal. Pressure sensors lined every inch of the floor, sensitive enough to detect a stray cat, let alone a team of thieves. These sensors were the silent sentinels, ever watchful, ever ready to sound the alarm at the slightest disturbance. Laser grids crisscrossed the space with pinpoint accuracy, their invisible beams promising instant annihilation. The lasers were a deadly web, a trap for the unwary, ensuring that no one could pass without triggering a cascade of alarms. And if one were to somehow bypass these defenses, there remained the vault door itself, a 15-ton behemoth, a monument to impenetrability, secured by multiple locks requiring synchronized codes. This door was the final guardian, a colossal barrier that stood between intruders and the treasures within. But Alejandro saw not obstacles, but opportunities. To him, the bank was not an impenetrable fortress, but a puzzle waiting to be solved. He had studied the bank's blueprints, memorized every camera angle, every guard patrol route. His mind was a repository of the bank's secrets, each detail a piece of the larger puzzle. He spent months analyzing the security system, searching for even the smallest flaw. Every night, he pored over documents and diagrams, his eyes scanning for weaknesses, his mind calculating the risks. He knew that brute force wouldn't suffice. The bank's defenses were too formidable, too well designed to be overcome by sheer strength. This heist would require cunning, finesse, and an understanding of the system's weaknesses. Alejandro's plan was not one of brute force, but of precision and skill, a dance with danger that required perfect execution. The central bank was a sleeping giant, confident in its invincibility. Its defenses, though formidable, were not infallible, and Alejandro was determined to prove it. Alejandro intended to wake it up. With every detail meticulously planned, every contingency considered, he was ready to take on the challenge. The heist of the century was about to begin, and Alejandro was at the helm, ready to turn the impossible into reality. No one person could breach the central bank's defenses. The security was impenetrable, a fortress of modern technology and human vigilance. It was a place where even the most seasoned criminals would hesitate to tread. Alejandro needed a team as diverse and skilled as the challenges they faced. He knew that only a group of specialists, each with their unique talents, could hope to overcome the myriad obstacles that lay ahead. This was not just a heist, it was a symphony of precision and expertise. He found them in the darkest corners of the underworld, each a master of their craft. These were individuals who had honed their skills in the shadows, perfecting their art in the most clandestine of environments. They were the best of the best, and they were ready for the challenge.
There was the Owl, a wiry electronics expert who could make a computer sing. His knowledge of circuits and codes was unparalleled, and his ability to manipulate technology was nothing short of magical. My fingers danced across keyboards, bypassing firewalls and disabling security systems with an artist's touch. Each keystroke was a note in a symphony of digital mastery, and I played it to perfection.
Then came the Wraith, a master of stealth and infiltration. My movements were fluid, my presence undetectable. I could slip through the tightest security like a whisper in the wind. I moved like a phantom, leaving no trace of my presence. My knowledge of the city's underbelly second to none. Every alley, every shadow was my domain, and I navigated it with the ease of a ghost.
The Bear, a hulking demolition expert with a surprisingly gentle touch, could bring down walls with surgical precision. His strength was matched only by his meticulous attention to detail, ensuring that every explosion was controlled and precise.
And finally, there was the Chameleon, a master of disguise and mimicry capable of blending seamlessly into any crowd. My ability to change appearances was uncanny, allowing me to become anyone, anywhere, at any time.
This was Alejandro's orchestra, each member playing a vital role in the symphony of the heist. They were not just a team, they were a finely tuned machine, each part working in perfect harmony to achieve the impossible. They were an unlikely team, bound by their shared trust in El Zorro and the intoxicating thrill of the impossible. Each had their reasons for joining, but together they formed a bond stronger than any lock or vault. Their individual skills, honed over years of operating in the shadows, were about to be put to the ultimate test. The heist was more than just a job. It was a testament to their abilities, a challenge that would push them to their limits and beyond. They were ready, and the world would soon know the names of the specialists in subterfuge. The night of the heist arrived cloaked in an inky blackness that mirrored Alejandro's heart. The city held its breath, unaware of the drama about to unfold. At a nondescript warehouse on the city's outskirts, the team gathered. their faces illuminated by the glow of computer screens and the shared tension that crackled in the air.
Tonight we make history.
He laid out the plan, each detail ingrained in their minds after weeks of rehearsals. The owl, his fingers already dancing across his keyboard, was the first line of attack, creating a diversion to draw attention away from their true objective. Minutes later, news reports crackled to life, reporting a major power outage in a wealthy suburb. It was their cue.
The Wraith, cloaked in shadows, slipped into the city's underbelly, navigating the labyrinthine network of tunnels with an uncanny familiarity.
Above ground, the bear, disguised as a city worker, tampered with a manhole cover, his movements practiced and precise. The stage was set. The heist was a resounding success. Alejandro El Zorro Martinez and his team executed their plan flawlessly, leaving no trace behind. The authorities were left baffled, and the stolen treasures were never recovered. This heist will go down in history as one of the greatest ever pulled off. Pause 2S. But what became of the masterminds behind this perfect crime? Alejandro and his team vanished into the night, each member dispersing into the shadows from which they came. The owl, now a ghost in the digital ether, continued to weave his magic from behind a computer screen, his identity forever concealed. The Wraith, true to her name, faded into the urban mist, her skills sought after by those who operate in the grey areas of society. The bear, with his strength and precision, found solace in anonymity, his talents a whispered legend among those who trade in secrets. Pause 2. Alejandro, the mastermind, the man who orchestrated the impossible, became a myth, a story told in hushed tones among thieves and lawmen alike. His name, El Zorro, became synonymous with brilliance and audacity, a symbol of what can be achieved with nerve, skill, and unyielding determination. Pause 2S. Though they vanished, their legacy endured. Their heist, a clockwork ballet of nerve and skill, became a blueprint for those who dared to dream big and aim higher. It was a testament to the power of meticulous planning, unwavering trust, and the pursuit of excellence against all odds. Pause 2S. In the end, the greatest treasure they stole was not gold or jewels, but their place in history, a legend that would inspire generations to come. The successful end of the heist marked not just a victory, but the birth of legends.